Tony Allen, 14 seasons in the NBA, one of the great defensive players of his generation. Very connected to the Memphis community after his time there with the team. What is it about Memphis, Tony? Like, I know I see you with the media stuff with Chris Vernon, one of our partners here at Ringer. What's it been like for you to stay in a city like that, knowing you're from Chicago and you'd been around the league?
I guess it's the Southern hospitality, they welcome me with, just my time being there. I fell in love with the city, worked so hard for the organization, loved the organization, never had no bad blood with the organization. I just thought, when I came down here with my blue collar swagger, my grit and grind mode, I think the city embraced me with that. I think it's like with Memphis, ain't no shortcut in Memphis. It's either go 110% or go home. And I think it meshed well with my style of play and just things of that nature.
It really was perfect. I mean, the whole grit and grind thing, and people could talk about it, but like it was real. It was real for you guys. And there was just something about it where, there might have been more talented teams, clearly, but like those teams you guys had, like they were a tough out. They were always tough. I remember, I think we had Chauncey Billups in studio when you guys are up 2-1 on Golden State. And he was like, he's like, I think Memphis got him. And then look, I mean, Golden State's Golden State, and they pull out that series. But there was a real identity and a real culture. I think other teams pretend they have it, hope to have it, but you guys had it. How did you have it?
Oh man, specifically that year too, just to put a few more wings on that sauce you just said. I got hurt that year. I pulled my hamstring. Mm-hmm. And I think the series probably would have looked a little different had I not been hurt. But you got to give credit to those guys. And I just thought we was fearless. We all had a mutual respect for one another. Me, Zach, Mike, Mark, we all held each other accountable. And one thing for sure too, for certain, we all wanted to win. We was a whole bunch of guys like that kind of like got counted out. You know what I mean? And we just made it our business to, make the Grand House our place of business where you don't come play it, and or you don't come with your A game. You got to come with it. And I think we made sure guys got their rest. We made sure we was tuned in when there was games that we needed to win. And I think that's why our veteran leadership kicked in. That we took care of business on teams that we were supposed to beat. All the teams that, they had us losing to or, projected to lose to, I think those were the games I think we took personally. And we did that throughout the season. And before you know it, it was just a grit and grind, we don't bluff type movement.
Did you feel like some teams, even though they thought they were better than you, like, I don't know if afraid is the right answer. Afraid isn't, like you guys are all pro athletes, but yeah.
We're allergic to that word. That word, afraid, we don't fear nobody. And that was the thing. Like, some of your greatest superstars are coming there and think like, all right, we just Memphis. We'll get this when we really got the big game, the next game. That we changed that perspective of your biggest superstar. Now when your biggest superstar come in Memphis, either he hurt or he know he got a long night. You get what I'm saying? And that was just a example of what Coach Hollins and Coach Jaeger and, the coaches that, had got a chance to coach us throughout the years, they got that from our players. We all in, you know what I'm saying? One foot out, 1 foot in, everybody was all in. It was times we tweaked lineups. Certain guys had to sacrifice, myself, Zach Randolph, and we didn't pout. We didn't, it was for the better of the team, and I think when you got guys that's buying in, it's easy to coach, you can win a little more.
You would study guys. I read about how you would watch videos of Kobe over and over and over again. Who did you think? Everybody always asks you, like, who is your toughest? I know the answer is Kobe. Who was a guy you knew was like, shit, I don't want to deal with Tony Allen tonight?
Yo. I've been waiting on somebody to ask me that again because ain't nobody asking me that in a while. Everybody been telling me who I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny you say that, man, but I got to shine some light on Flash. On Flash, I got to shine some light on Flash, although Kobe is Kobe, big respect to Kobe. But I just think when I used to go against my hometown, co-worker, Dwyane Wade at the time, good brother of mine too, I thought he was always trying to go at my head. And I thought it was my duty to try to stop him. And boy, was he tough. He get to that line, he slags. He wasn't just your typical superstar where he just catch it in the post or catch it on the wing and just go to work. You know, he used the pick and roll. Sometimes he'll be in the offense if he can't get his shot going off the pull-up, backdoor cuts. You got to be aware of a superstar staying this active. Watching the offensive rebound, you might come tip dunk. You get what I'm saying? And I thought, like, every time that I got a chance to play, he performed. And it was difficult. I don't know the numbers. I ain't no analytical guy. I told you I grit and grind, but I know for a fact, if I could look at the numbers for sure, Dwyane Wade, man, he used to give me fits, man. And I thought it was real. It was like a great feeling when we sent them out playoffs in what that was, 2010. I think it was. We went through Wade, LeBron, Vince, and lost the code that year. I think that was 2010. Don't give me a telling story.
Yeah, Boston, the rematch with Lakers, 2010. Yeah.
I think we had to go to Miami first.
Yeah.
And man, the first game, Dwyane Wade put up like 44. I don't know, the first game, second game, third, I don't know. But whichever one of them games, I was just like, I remember myself saying this theory, and why we just can't sweep them and get this guy out the way. And I just remember times like that with Flash. So if I had to give anybody any praise on who gave me fits, it's the hometown kid, Shat-Town, Dwyane Wade.
Yeah, you gave us the humble answer on that one because you added somebody else to the resume that was tough. You know, the thing about Wade that I always noticed, and I was talking with a coach about this recently on the screen on the offensive player, right? So the offensive player who turns down the screen more often than not, where like defensive concepts will say like, we want you to actually use the screen so then we can kind of dictate where you're going. Wade used to turn it down all day. Right? Like that was his big thing. Like he always was turning the screen down. Exactly. He would just.
It was like, you get set up with that 9 times out of 10, you putting pressure on your big man because he going upstairs to dunk. So it was like, man, be ready for the rejection. That was one of the biggest, like every coach like Doc or like the player personnel coaches, the first thing they tell me, TA, he's going to reject the pick and roll, going to reject it. And he always get the wind up like he about to come, and then he reject it. But you got to be fearful of your big. If your big not right there in the blue, depending side pick and roll, because that's normally when he do it. If they not in that blue, and blue is when the big obviously is in the coverings, just in case you get beat, it's going to hurt you, man. It's going to definitely hurt you.
This young team is fun. They get the win against San Antonio. It wasn't easy after what looked like an easy start, not a surprise. Give me your scouting report. Give me the Tony Allen, no bullshit scouting report on the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, man. Well, you know, obviously we got an electrifying Rookie of the Year, you know, in John Morant. Obviously, sky's the limit for his career. I just like the fact that, you know, they changing. They call themselves the new generation. You know, Grizz next generation. They still G&G. So, you know, it all go well. But I had to tell you, man, that's a group of guys, man, that play together, that's following under Coach Taylor. You know, wisdom and everything, his knowledge on the court. But guys like Jaren Jackson being back is a huge fit for those guys. You know, somebody that could spread the floor off the pick and roll. You know, obviously we had big rollers and athletic rollers in Clark and Valanciunas. You know, that's a lane for the Grizzlies when they go 1-5. But I would have to say, man, all this young experience and this light that we getting on the Grizzlies now, the sky's the limit, man. I like each guy on the team, man. Dylan Brooks has shown that, you know, he can play both ends of the court, lock up and get buckets. I like that aspect for the Grizzlies. D. Melton, he showed signs of Tony Allen, you know, playing the passing lanes, getting out there, causing havoc in the team's offense. Clark, obviously, you know, he a rim runner. Every team needs a rim runner. And I just think experience is what they're missing right now. These type games, you know, I think it's going to put them in a position where we need to be far. We need to be playing in the big stage. So it's a young team, man. They under a great coach, Coach Taylor, and I think that, you know, sky's the limit for them, man. You know, it's early. They're young, man. You know, I don't like. I'm from the old school, and a lot of people in my era, you know, they was kind of tough on the young guys. Like, it was kind of tough for me being young. And I think with this generation, they just letting them guys just play. And I think they can only growth can come from that.